John Brandvein, take it away.
Thank you very much. First of all, if you can read it, you can do it. If you can't read it, grab hold of a dictionary and find out what it says. What I'm supposed to be talking about is living life well, and I am the epitome and example of that. First of all, there's 36 hours in a day in my life. They're not all chargeable, but I'm having a great time. And what you find is this. What you want to do is you want to live every minute of every day. You've been put on this earth for certain reasons by a certain special power. And I have been so blessed that it's unbelievable. In fact, I am here permanently. I had done a visitation of the hereafter, both above and below. And after being there, it was determined by both parties that neither one of them wanted me. That I would do more harm and more good here on earth than I would in either one of their places. So I am very fortunate. I have 6 decades as a CPA and going strong. I just signed a 25-year lease with a 15-year option, so I'm sort of set for the next millennium. I have 61 years of wedded bliss. That's according to my counting. My wife, I'm sure, would argue with that fact, but you know, what does she know? She married me. Very fortunate, 2 children, 6 grandchildren, and 4.5 great-grandchildren. We are a very close family. We've gone on vacations and trips together. For 17 years, we did a Christmas trip on a cruise at Christmas time where there were, counting significant others, 20 people of us together, which was a very nice thing. My kids had questioned my spending their inheritance, and I was being questioned by many people to adopt them to become on the trip. But we are very close. Family is much more than people think about it, and love them every minute, because as they grow up, they love you even more. What I find is this, and it's a whole matter of life, as far as being kind. It's easy to do if you come up with that frame of mind. Don't be a son of a bitch. Actually, what it is in being what you are is what you have to live with for the rest of your life. I have found that I go out of my way and try to help people wherever I can. And it's seeing the smile and the gratitude on their face is worth much more than money or anything else. Being gracious, especially I find for the people on the lower level of the ladder, the secretaries, the telephone answering people. I have an ongoing conversation with them just to find out about them and make their day happy. I'll even at times tell them they ought to go to their boss and have their salary tripled because they are such good people. And I found that that's been very helpful. I've called back at times and gotten the same switchboard operator, and she had thanked me for what was going on. Be charitable. That's one of my favorite things. My tipping of people and being charitable for different groups goes from an average of 70% tip up to 700%. And I've had people come back and say, are you sure that this is what you meant to do? And it is the case. And you find by doing that, you've made their day. And in picking up tabs for people, they'll say, well, what can I do for you? I said, do the same thing that I did. Do that to somebody else that you feel that you can help and make their day much better. Be balanced between your work and your personal life, my wife will totally dispute that. There is no way. I've worked 100-hour weeks for 10 weeks in a row and enjoyed every minute of it, but I'm nuts. As far as being positive, my approach on things is this. People ask me how things are. My response is always, couldn't be better. That blows their mind. Be innovative. Think outside the box. That's the definition of that. And it's very important. People will tell me, well, John, you can't do that. That idea is no good. My question will be is, why not? What's wrong with it? Well, you can't do this. I had a computer gal go out with me to a client. And what we did was, I'm looking there, and that's when the IBM, for people in the 34 who maybe don't realize what it was, but I went out to the client, and I'm looking at their computer, and my gal is talking, and I had to input something to keep part of the group. So I told her, well, they've got the same computer that we do. She said, John, no, they don't. I said, okay, it's the same color. John, she says, it's not even the same color. So get with it. What I find is every day, first thing I do is I take my cell phone out to look at the pictures that I have gotten from my family members. And my granddaughter down in Texas so far has sent me 5,000. She's challenging, but I look at that. The next thing I do is I try and put a smile on everybody's face. That is the most important thing, looking and seeing people smile around you. A grouch is not going to attract anybody else. Tip generously, I already told you about that. As far as picking up tips for service people, anybody who is in a uniform, I will try and pick up their tab. I did that for a particular soldier who was at Walgreens, and he was having his picture taken because he needed his visa because he was traveling abroad. And I asked him, I said, where are you going? He said, well, I can't tell you that. He says, you know, it's secretive. I said, well, thank you for what you are doing, and actually the whole country thanks you for everything you're doing. I think if we spend more time being helpful and friendly, life would be a heck of a lot better. Review what is your best life. Take a look to see if you're happy with what you're doing. If you're not, step back a little bit and see what you're doing, what you're not doing, what you like, what you don't like. We're on this earth for only a short period of time. Go out in a flame of glory and feeling good about yourself and everybody that you can help. Restore and make things that are different if you have to change, and fix what isn't right. What I found is there's no such thing as a dead end. People say, well, John, you can't do that. My response is, why not? They'll say, why not? Well, what if we change this? Or what if we change that? And that's talking about the rules that we were talking about. There are certain rules that we are guided by, but there are a lot of things in thinking outside the box, and do it. Be honest. Enjoy life. Don't worry. Worry does no good. What you're doing there is you're wasting time and energy. If you spent that time and energy looking at what you think is something to worry about and put it in a positive approach, it is amazing what you can get done. I think that being honest is also very important. Smell the roses, my wife keeps on telling me. If you've got an allergy, you may have some reaction to that, but enjoy life, have a good time. One other thing that I find that's very, very enjoyable for me is laughing. If you can laugh, you will feel so much better. I find that I'm able to laugh at myself. And by golly, I've got a lot to laugh about. If you make mistakes, learn from them. My clients have been so well taken care of because I have done everything that is wrong to do. And as a result of that, they are much better off for everything that's going on. Keep active. I had many clients over the years that would sit back and say, well, they've reached a point in time where they want to retire. And there was this one client, I told him, I says, you can't retire. He says, why not? I says, you don't play golf. You don't have a hobby. All you know is your store. And if you go out, what's going to happen is you're going to die. Your mind is going to go totally blank, and you're not going to be able to handle things. And, you know, there's a lot of people like that around there right now besides. I think that pretty well covers it, but go out with a smile on your face every single day. Be happy, help people. Don't let this hate problem engulf us with what's going on. We're too good for that. Thank you very much. Anybody have any questions?
As far as thinking outside the box, my favorite ex-wife used to say, still does, you know, she doesn't think inside the box, she dances on the boxes. And I really like that image and that thought.
Well, which one was that of your favorite ex-wife?
3.
Number 3, okay.
I want to say that knowing John has really been important in my life, and if you ever are with him and you come up with anything that, like he'll say, how can I help you? He immediately takes his phone out, calls somebody and hands the phone to you. So you don't always know who you're talking to. But one of the times when he asked me what I needed, I said we need to do something in the back because we had a really bad floor. It used to be a warehouse back there. And he says, call this guy and ask him about carpeting. So I think I'm calling a carpeting store. And this guy, we talk, and he tells me about this place where you can get carpet squares. And he gives me a number, and I call the woman, and she goes, oh, we hardly ever get them. But when we do, I said, how much do you charge? She goes, they're used. And she said, they're free. 2 or 3 days later, she calls, I don't believe it. I just got a big shipment in. Come and get it. First one here gets them. And it was John. Like, he just really, go with him, tell him what you need. He picks up his phone and calls somebody.
Okay, thank you very much. I enjoyed this immensely.